Right, what else are we doing? We were going to need more dark matter crystals before long. So you're still doubling everything there. We could even increase production too, probably. Because I think I do have more than that coming out. In fact, I can guarantee that I have more. So 60 per minute. You're producing 100 per minute. I think we have the power to sustain. We do. Right. It's the diamonds are a bit of a problem, but we have a backlog. So let's jump this to 20 per minute. There's the 100. Let's do 25. No, 24. Numbers are nicer that way. Okay. What's our power doing now? Look at our maximum consumption go. Ooh, we're actually dipping into our batteries a little bit now. That's exciting. And we're going to need you fired up too, probably, because you're now using 120 and you're only producing 100, but then you are pretty much full, so not concerned. You're going to churn through the diamonds, but that's fine. I don't care. I just want more dark matter crystals, because that's going to be my backlog for the time being. We'll take another 200 of those. This guy can get shut down pretty much at this point. I could make these produce metal plates instead at this point, quite frankly. That would be kind of fun. Yeah, because we've got 60 times 4 to do the 240 here, so I could have just done metal plates at this point. Maybe we just turn you off for the time being. I mean, it's not like you're using a ton of power, though. 400 megawatts is not a hell of a lot. But we just don't need these, right? Yeah, you're almost full. We just do not need you. So you're going to run out. That's fine. I'll just let you run out rather than stopping you. And then you are all now stopped. You are all now stopped. So our potential, like our maximum consumption is still really high, but that just drops off a lot. Because these are Mark IIs, so they're 15 megawatts as well. Time crystals we don't really need any of right now, do we? We've already halved you. We could drop you even further just to not use diamonds at all. We also double the amount of diamonds we produce if we wanted to. But I think we're good for now. We'll take these dark crystals back. And we know that we've got more being produced now. It's the point that we're just trying to find ways that we can just ramp things up to go faster. Okay, you've stopped again because of the dark matter crystals. There we go. So let's get you underway. That's only enough to make 5 more lots, so that's 10. We're just limping our way there at this point. So you are now using almost 5 kilowatts. We could actually put half of these in by now, almost. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 400, 442. We're not even halfway on those. And to make 500, it's 1 every 150 seconds at the moment. You're also going to run out of copper dust powder at some point, probably. We're going to have to fire you up even more. I can't. No, I'm already operating at maximum capacity, pretty much. Just to produce 60. Because you use 360 copper per minute. That's so insane. I mean, we can just set up another, like, copper run somewhere else and just bring it here manually. Because, yeah, 60, and we're now using 80. Yeah, it's a problem. 500 at every 150 seconds, that's 2.5 minutes per 1 times 500. Yeah, that's just insane. Okay, so a lot of what this game is now going to become is just waiting for nuclear pasta to produce. That's all there is to it. Because yes, I can overclock that. Like, I can ramp up my power, I can overclock it. But I can only then have to do the same thing with that, right? I guess I just make multiple, and I just make them all in parallel, is the other thing. I just, yeah, dedicate myself to finding more copper, which we have some up here. It's a normal purity, so's that. So we know that we can do that off a normal. And in fact, we're siphoning off quite a bit. So a normal with a Mark III, we're doing 480. We need 360 because it's all a 1-to-1, unless we also Somersloop our production, which is just crazy to even think about. But I guess we could. We can't Somersloop a miner, but you can Somersloop everything else. So as soon as you start smelting, you can double everything else. So that means you can create enough copper powder. I mean, we can also just Somersloop this one, right? Why aren't we just doing that? It's one. It's one thing. What am I thinking about? Oh, I'm so silly. Doubling the production, like the ingots, is all well and good, but doubling this, that's much better. There we go. So now 120 per minute. So we can support this going up much higher now. Right. That makes more sense. We don't want to go over the 0.5 though, because then the power requirement becomes so much more. In fact, it could be worth just dropping this back to 0.3, but putting in a second particle accelerator, come to think of it. Yeah, because then we can actually have the power alternate. That's an exciting idea. So if we deconstruct this for now, just because we're going to put in one of these instead, just because it's easier to split things. We're just going to... Oh, we don't have the sheets? Okay, well. We'll do Mark IV. So this needs to be only 60 per minute. But we'll make it Mark II anyway. Then you can come on top here. Just want to have another particle accelerator if we can produce one. Yep, we do have what we need. And then we can have you face this way and do that. So you will be nuclear pasta at 0.3. So the first one's going to fire off full power. And then we want to put in a container there. Oh, we can't go through there because this container doesn't need to exist anymore, does it? No. There we go. Through a rock, so why not? Okay, so then it's just a case of, well, one, it needs power, and two... Oh, we can just hook it up directly. Cool. So as soon as I feed in the pressure conversion cube, and I can take out just over half of what's in here. The first one will not be Somerslooped, unfortunately. We can do that. So, at the point that you are finishing, I want to set the next one going. So then their power cycles can not amplify. In fact, I actually want it to be about halfway, don't I? Yeah, halfway I set it going. And then it can build up. No, because then it'll drop off as the other one is getting to full. Yeah, I think that's about right. There'll still be a spike, but it won't be as bad. Oh, you're still filling up with copper powder? Oh, oops. Let's take you out again, because I could have actually done that. Okay, we'll have to wait another cycle now, I think. Actually, that's probably fine. Let's set you going now. You're also out of sync in terms of timings, I think. Oh, so the overclock thing is taken effect immediately. The Somersloop thing does not. So 763 becomes 3054. Crazy. Okay, so that's now going to produce things twice as fast. Funnily enough. And theoretically, we could put in another one and have extra all going. But, you know, then we'd have to do even more of this. We'd have to Somersloop every single smelter to then have the amount to have 2 Somersloop ones of these. I think, on balance, this is pretty good, I think. I should have thought about that a long time ago. Once again, it's just one of those things that, yeah, it seems obvious in hindsight. Oh, that looks cool. But, yeah, should have thought about it a long time ago, because it's for the cost of 1 Somersloop. We can also do that for all of our metal plates if we want, to make sure that we get our iron plates to get the 6,000 that we want. But given that we're waiting for all of those to produce, it's not like we're in a hurry. Yeah, so it's all very spiky at the moment. Maximum consumption, 17,000. Now, this Alien Power Augmenter thing, what does that look like? And where should we put it? We should probably put it over by our quantum sort of area. Alien Power Augmenter, how big is it? Not actually that big. Interesting. And why does it have an input? Okay. That's confusing. Oh, that's where there's the alien power matrix things. Oh, do you need those? Well, if we just put this down here, randomly. Or, actually, we will put it up by our quantum stuff, just in case if we ever end up making those things. Actually, we could put it on top up here, couldn't we? Oh, there's a power slug up here. That's funny. Because it's not going to let me put it down here with this stuff in the way. Okay, so now... Alien Power Augmenter. What did I say about the rock? It still doesn't let me... Oops. That's not going to work. That's so annoying. Okay. At least I got rid of it. There we go. I think that looks kind of fun. Sitting on top of a promontory like this. So that uses up 10 Somersloops. So if I want them back, I'm going to have to either deconstruct it or find more. I haven't even hooked you up yet. Yeah, no connection. Oh, and no fuel. So it does need fuel then, does it? 5 per minute, and I only produce 2.5 per minute? Enhances the output. I mean, it says enhances the output, but it makes it seem like it's required. Well, one way to find out. Okay, no, now it's doing something. Power boost 1463. That's not much. Circuit boost is only 10%. I guess that's why you need these, to make it worth it. Yeah, that's really useless. Static power 500 megawatts. Is that the only bit that you can make use of? Huh. That's weird. I really expected a lot more from that. I also don't know why our maximum consumption keeps dropping. Something significant keeps running out of materials. Oh, have you run out of diamonds? Probably. No? Oh, you're running out of dark matter residue, though. Oops. Okay, we'll just go 20 again. There you go. Maybe we can even just do like 18 or something. Yeah, okay. That's all of the diamonds that we produce, I think. Well, we've got a few more. Oh, because you're finished. Have you finished? No. I wanted to give you more of those and I never put those in. I'm an idiot. Hang on, I think we might have all that we need now. Come to think of it. Do we not? AI expansion server, we need our magnetic field generators. Because we only needed 128 of each thing, and we've now got 260 of these. 100 of them are going to go over here. So yeah, you need those. And then I think you needed another 100 of these. So we'll stick those there. Now, where's the other thing? Is it in... Yeah, here we go, 128. Because we should use 128 of each of these to make 256 of the other thing. So that means I can actually swap you. You're back into producing stuff. Be interesting to see how much it produces off the back of... Oh, you only just finished one too. Alright, AI expansion server. You're going to produce 8 per minute. There we go. 18 per minute. We can crank you up. Hopefully I have enough power overhead. If we make you 2 per minute, so that's the 100 that we produce again. We're only using 90 now. And we use 40, but you're full. Okay. And then we're going to need 28 of those. No, not that way. 28 of those, 28 of those. In fact, no, we're going to need more of those first, and then the 28 of those. And then, yeah, 30's fine of those before the rest of those go in. Because they stack higher. Okay, and that should be everything we need for that now. So that makes 4 per minute, so it's going to be 64 minutes, and that should be all that we need of that. So just over an hour, and we finish part 3. It's, yeah, part 1, the nuclear pasta, is the one that's actually the most annoying. Actually, 40's perfect for that. And we need to keep producing things so that we can keep producing the dark matter energy. That's the other problem. I think we should fire up the converter again, just to keep that going. But we bring this over here so we can keep putting these into that. Right. How many iron plates do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there's 1,000. Can we get the full 6,000 already? If so, then we can just disconnect this power line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 3,000. We're almost there. Alright, then there's, I think, a couple of other milestones. You're finished, except for hard drives. So let's scan some more hard drives. I don't know what I'll possibly get that I'd be interested in, but I'm curious to find out. And then all that there really is to do now is just explore, I guess. Explore and wait. But that means that for now there's not much to do but just wait. If we look through the particle accelerators, that's kind of mesmerizing. I'm just going to leave it like this and take a short break. Right, how are we going then? We've been ticking away double time for a little bit. Do we have... We don't even have 500 yet still though. That's annoying. Going to having 500 would be a good stopping point. Then we can be at least halfway. Then we can just do the maths and figure out, okay, how long is it going to take for the rest? I could do the maths on that anyway, probably. So it's 200 seconds. God, it's noisy in there. But 200 seconds gets me 4. What's 200 seconds? 3 and a bit minutes. So it's 3 minutes for just less than 4. Say 3.5 minutes for 4. That's 120 times 3 minutes for 480. 120 times 3 is 360 minutes. That's 6 hours. Okay, so that's going to take a while. Maybe we do want to dedicate ourselves to harnessing another copper ore node in order to support 2 more of those. That might actually be a strat, because I have the conversion cubes regardless. we miss out on doubling the very first one. Oh, we also don't have that many Somersloops, though. That's the problem. Is we're out of Somersloops. I'd have to go hunting for more, and that'll take time. Yeah. I mean, otherwise, yeah, we could overclock, but that power boost is... Okay. I say, though, I don't have the Somersloops. That power boost is incredibly disappointing. So we would have to boost that. If we drop off our power boost, then that's going to actually be touching pretty much again at that point. But that's only while other things are operating. And I guess the idea is that at a certain point, the nuclear pasta is the only thing that's actually going to be going. Because it's not going to take us that long to finish part 4. No, part 3, sorry. AI expansion servers. Takes 2 per minute. We've got another 45 minutes or so. We're already halfway there. No, we're not. We're a quarter of the way. It's 64. Yes, we're a quarter of the way there. Right. It's going to take another hour or so on that. Once that's finished, that is 3,200 megawatts. This is 3,000 megawatts. That's the thing, it's so disappointing that the Alien Augmenter, it's really useless. I don't understand why the circuit boost is so low and why it then must need the Alien Power matrices to make it worthwhile. Circuit boost of 10%, so I guess maybe the point is that we need to produce more power in order to get more out of it. Don't know, but a 10% boost doesn't seem like much. I guess it is later on, but we can produce 1,400 megawatts just by converting the rest of our turbo fuel into rocket fuel. But I don't want to deconstruct this right now because, yeah, that's touching. Okay, how much more dark crystals do we have? Almost another 3 stacks, in fact. Well, let's just grab... Okay. 3 more stacks of those will keep our warp drive happy for the time being. How many are you using per minute? 40 per minute. Okay, so we're slightly lower still. 41 iterations to go. So we're getting there. That means that we should be over halfway now. We are. That's nice. So we can actually put 100 of those in there, and it looks like we're making progress. Nice. Let's see if we've got 3,000 more metal plates yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These we're not using any from, so maybe we've got more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, we're getting there. Cool. Hard drive, you're finished. Tempered copper ingot, basic iron ingot. Right, we're back to this again, are we? I mean, making more copper is kind of handy, to be fair, because we were talking about how issues with smelting and stuff and having to overclock everything in order to feed our copper powder production. So there's that, but petroleum coke is not it. And neither is sulfuric acid. Okay. Alcad casing, so it uses aluminium and copper. It's exactly the same. Oh no, yeah, Alcad sheets. This makes casings faster. Not useful, but it's the best that we've got going for us. An alternative copper recipe could be handy, I suppose. I don't suppose we did actually get any... Yeah, copper alloy ingot. Oh, okay, so we could actually be doing that. And that would give us more copper to be able to boost copper powder more easily. Reduces the foundry, 100 per minute instead of 30 per minute. Because that would allow us to feed into this so much better. So we would need to siphon off this into a foundry. This is a Mark II. We put a foundry down here. I mean, I may as well at least just see what it does, right? Better late than never. We need copper going in as well, is the only problem. don't really have more copper coming in here. We'd have to siphon it off from these, and this is already kind of delicately poised. Or I guess we have the copper from here going into here. I mean, we're also, these are just so inefficient as the other annoyance here. Like, we have so much extra copper at this point. We really needed to have this going into a container to be able to feed this, because we have so much excess, and then we can actually overclock this, have it produce even more, and then worry about how we feed into it later. That's kind of what we need, I think. Well, this is a merger here, right? Isn't it? Yeah, this is a merger, so we could have that going into this. And then have the container off the back here. But let's first upgrade, because we might need that soon. These are only like Arc 1 coming out, because they're 60 per minute, 60 per minute. And then that's the other 4, so that's 240. So that has to be at minimum a Mark, well, presumably it is a Mark 3, yeah. So if we do that, and do that, and then do, let's just keep this going for now. Let's just rip that out faster than it needs to. Let's ramp this up so we make this 240. So it's producing 240 per minute. So now it needs 720 per minute. And then we put a container down here. We don't have enough room for it, is the problem. We can also shuffle that up a little bit. We can get it closer to that container, I guess. We've got a little bit of a backlog at the moment. So let's just do this for now. Fill that up. And then making copper powder. There we go. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And now I can just come over here and grab entire stacks of copper. And shunt them into here. And then we can look at doing the foundry business over here, perhaps, instead. Copper from here. So, alternate. Use 50-50. Well, we were using 60, right? Yeah, for 2 of them we were using 60. And then you make 100 copper ingots instead of whatever the hell it was before. If we do it like this or something, and then we have that, then we have splitter here. That's barely gonna fit, right? Okay, but it does fit, that's all that matters. Okay. And then we can deconstruct this and have a lifter going off the back here, because that is still in use. It's meant to support up to 90 going that way is the other problem. And then we can have that going like so, and doing that there, and get rid of these to do this. Oh, and it's clipping awkwardly through there because of course it's... Oh, that's concrete. Never mind. Wrong one. There we go. Right, so that's the iron ore coming up here. Now this needs to be Mark 2. And in fact, I want to make it maybe Mark 3. Because I have the steel. And we just want to make it so that it can just zoom along this direction. We've got this really weird sort of 3-way mix thing going on here, and it's really awkward. I don't know what I was doing. It siphons off from both directions for some reason. I think it was just to do with how the capacity was at the time. But this we're going to deconstruct entirely now, I think, because what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we have exactly what we need. All of this no longer required. Just select everything and deconstruct it all. So it's an extra 60 coming this way. Okay, whatever. I don't know if that's balanced properly, but I also don't think it matters at this point. We need to make sure that we don't run out of copper powder is the most important thing. So you need to be fired up for a start. There we go. That's why it's not doing anything. So you're now producing 100 per minute by default. If we bump this so that it's producing 120 per minute, even better. I'm only using half of that. I should have done that a long time ago. This episode is full of things of I should have done that a long time ago. It really is. We can deconstruct this. Put a splitter on here to go from here. Deconstruct this entirely. And then you come with me. And yeah, we just do it like that. That frees up a bit of space. And then theoretically we could put another foundry down here that could operate on the same principles. Let's go finish this milestone, shall we? That might be a good place to finish for the day. We can worry about how else we reroute things for copper powder another time. Right, peak efficiency.
Milestone reached. After close scrutiny, 2 problems were identified in Mark V conveyor belts. The first was the belt part, so force fields have been implemented in the Mark VI instead, to maximize transfer speeds. The second problem is inefficient pioneers, but sadly no remedy is available for this severe impediment.
It's rudeness. Yet. Such rudeness. Alright, and then the only thing is Blueprints Mark III. Okay. Which, for some stupid reason, needs time crystals and quantum processors. What the hell? Okay, that's just silly. Okay, now I can pick up my dismantle crate, so I can at least tidy up after myself. Put the rest in here again. Alright, so we still have excess, in fact. And we still have some extra copper ore on us that we're not using. So I guess the point is if I do another foundry, then I don't need to worry about connecting that up yet. If we do another foundry here, it'll be the opposite order, is all, which is fine. So at this point we have another splitter here, I think, with the idea that then that will go this direction, and then just going from there into that input there. Yeah, there we go. This one we're not actually going to connect up yet. So alternate, we feed that in ourselves. And then this output, annoyingly, is underneath this. But this no longer needs to exist, right? Which means that this can then have Mark II facing this direction. Like so. There we go. Over the top, more copper to go in. And then let's fire you up. And then we want to boost this to 120 per minute. So you're making 120 per minute. You're making 120 per minute to feed all of these. So what do we have coming in now? It was 360, it's now 480, I think. Let's go and, before we forget, do one more like dark matter run. Because we should have more crystals now. And we can check on our progress for part 3. You're still green. So you're like 2/3 of the way there, I guess. Yeah, got 150, well, slightly more than that, in fact. Well, let's go put in what we have, why not? Have the illusion of progress. And then you are still doing fine. Ah, you're running out of diamonds now. That's why we're seeing the fluctuations, because diamonds. We need to just stop the time crystal production entirely now. We just shut you down. Have everything go that way. Because you're making 18 per minute, which is exactly what we need. 500 of these, actually. Dump, dump. Oh, and 250 time crystals. Sure, we may as well grab them. We'll put them into the milestone, just so we know that they're done. Then we're going to need more of the quantum things and more fused frames. So first things first, space elevator. Let's put in what we have of those. 182. Okay, interesting. Nuclear pasta, we should also be about halfway on now. With their 2 powers combined, yes we are. Halfway there. Excellent. Hopefully we've got enough of the other, like, containers and stuff. And then dark crystals we need to put in here to keep you happy. So we don't want you stalling for too long. There's another 50 though, so we are on the home stretch for these. We only need another 42. We're actually going to be finished that before the others, I think. Part 1 is the thing that's going to take us the longest. Kind of crazy. Okay, well that's those. And hard drive. Bolted frame, rubber concrete. Don't care. Pure iron ingots, silicon high-speed connector. I think we've seen these before, haven't we? So we use silica instead of cable for some reason, and otherwise, yeah, it makes 2. It's weird, whatever, we'll take it. I don't really care for it, but we'll take it. Last hard drive. There's not much more I can do right this moment, I think. We're definitely on the home stretch now. Like, I think one more stream will probably do it. Definitely managed to get things pretty well sorted. The Alien Power Augmenter, really disappointing. I don't know quite what the deal is with that. If it only ever boosts by 10%, then yeah, the amount that you have to be producing to make that worth building at all just seems so silly, because, yeah, I guess if you reach some sort of resource cap, like you've boosted out your rocket fuel production or something as much as you possibly can, and then you can add on an extra 10% for essentially free, like it ties up resources, but it's otherwise free, then hey, fine. Don't know, I was expecting more bang for my buck on that one. All in all, pretty successful, and yeah, the end is very much in sight. So as soon as we're finished with the AI expansion servers, we'll just pivot to that, make another 100 of those, that's fine. And then we'll just need to be making some fused frames in the meantime. All good. We'll set that going next time, but for now, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you then.